Şu anda geldi. Kabul edebilirseniz rahat ilerleriz. Ayrıca yine başlamadan bir lojistik hatırlatması daha. Simultane tercümemiz var. Tercüme butonu altta, ekranlarınızın altında, bu dünya işaretinin altında görünüyor orada. Orijinal dili ya da çeviriyi tercih edebilirsiniz. Evet, tekrar hoş geldiniz. Ben konuklarımıza da hoş geldin demek istiyorum. Good morning, Thijsbert, Halil and Alin. Welcome aboard. Today we're going to talk about life insurance and health business and the basic, the mega trends or the latest trends in life insurance and health insurance globally. So we have three esteemed colleagues we have today. Böyle bir İngilizce bir Türkçe gideceğim ama zaten tercüme de olacağı için onu rahatlıkla takip edebilirsiniz diye düşünüyorum. Ben çok kısaca öncelikle konuşmacılarımızı tanıtmak isterim sizlere. Thijsbert, Johannesburg ofisinde Boston Consulting tarafında yönetici direktör ve ortak olarak görev yapıyor. Ve BCG içerisinde hayat sigortası konusunda global lider kendisi. Halil Güvenç, BCG'nin Münih ofisinde hayat sigortası alanında lider konu uzmanı olarak görev yapıyor kendisi. Alin Avedikian, Swiss-Re'den katılıyor. Kendisi de hayat ve sağlık sigortaları çözümler satış başkanı olarak görev yapıyor. Zürih'ten katılıyor kendisi de bugün webinarımıza. Evet, isterseniz ilk soruyu ben Halil Bey ve Thijsbert'e hitaben başlatmak isterim. Is that okay with you, Halil and Thijsbert?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so let's get started. So, Halil and Thijsbert, what do you think of the new trends in life insurance and health insurance business globally? And I would like to know your views upon how you think about these rising trends are affecting our business, and what are their implications for Turkish market? What do you think Turkish life insurance should pick up from these new rising trends? And in insurance business in Turkey, it is basically dominated by the non-life insurance business. It's the ratio is 85 to 15%, but there is a lot of potential in life insurance business, and we are very much, as the insurance association, relying on that to improve to develop the insurance business in Turkey, because the savings part is the main driving motor behind the premium growth all over the world and in Turkey as well. And I know that from the latest reports and some research on insurance, there is a rising protection gap in terms of savings on the life side. And what are you suggesting in terms of just bridging this gap? And what are the new trends in life insurance and health insurance business globally? So over to you, Halil and Thijsbert. Thank you.
Thijsbert, you're on mute right at the moment.
Thank you. Will we put on the presentation or?
Yeah, sure.
Or will we?
You can change your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe to start, let's look at what we see globally happening as trends in life insurance, and I will deep dive three now, and then Halil will take over to discuss the latter two, and then afterwards welcome any discussion on sort of what that means and how you can think about increasing sort of also the penetration of life insurance in Turkey. So what we see sort of as trends in the 20s, and obviously we're quite some time into the 20s already, so these are also things that are already ongoing, but will continue to strengthen and have more impact in life insurance. Oh, so five main trends to discuss. Can we go back? 5 main trends to discuss. First, sort of around bionic distribution, and we'll talk about what this means and what the word bionic means, but this basically means digital augmented by human or human augmented by digital interaction, and how that can break down some of the paradigms in life insurance distribution and servicing as well. The second trend is around growth and how to create new avenues for growth, both around life and health. The third one is around the in-force books. So this is more thinking about the back books and how do you create higher yield from the in-force books. It's a topic that many insurers globally are working on. Obviously more in mature markets where the back books are bigger. The fourth and the fifth, Halil will take later. One is around ESG, obviously a big topic globally, and how can you think about that in life and health, and obviously also the asset management side behind that. And then finally, sort of the re-emergence of guarantees following sort of the changes in interest rates, the opportunity to bring back some form of guarantees. That Aysun, as you said, sort of there is an emerging gap. How can you use guarantees maybe to have more certainty around sort of closing the gap between sort of the pension need and the existing savings? So five trends, mega trends, I would say, that we wanted to deep dive, and then obviously after that we'll open up for discussion and explore what it means for Turkey. First, on the accelerate bionic distribution. So what's the logic behind bionic distribution? So in life insurance and in many insurance products, there are three things that we need to solve for. One is the reach. How do we get to customers in a cost-effective way? Second is, how do we make sure on the left-hand side, how do we make sure that actually our sales force, our agents or brokers or banks that we partner with actually have the right sales story and service story for the right customer at the right time. And digital enablement obviously talks to sort of how can we cater information and leads to our sales force. And then on the right-hand side, it's about the breakdown of cost. How do we make sure that we can do the distribution at cost, and how can we leverage digital and bionic in reducing that cost? Because if we are better able to be there at the right time and do part of the servicing with digital, then that would obviously lower cost and enhance productivity, which sort of would mean that the cost per policy still decreases. So the bionic logic has an opportunity to break the paradigm on all these three areas, and therefore has a lot of potential. And you see many insurers sort of developing technologies, ways of working, propositions around bionic. Maybe to the next slide. And so what it actually tries to do is tries to think around sort of the customer journey, and then to sort of make sure that we migrate tasks that can be more effectively and at lower cost done through a digital channel, while enhancing actually the client experience, because better real-time data, better information during the journey. Now, what is important is to really think about this very customer-centric. And I mean, we don't claim that sort of everything is always delineated by age, but of course there's an age dependency in comfort around using some of these bionic tool sets. So we here depicted how it could look like based on age categories. And I think what is very important for Turkish insurance when you think about this is not just to think about it around age, but also around client segments, needs, and what type of product actually needs what type of advice or information, and because that will also be areas where you delineate. Now, what is important to see in this is that it is a recognition of the fact that moving everything to digital in life is probably, at least for the next 10 years, a bridge too far. It's very difficult for customers that don't really understand their need yet or the product very well to navigate everything and assess their own needs online in a fully digital manner. So the starting point of this is we still need face-to-face interaction, human interaction. However, the other recognition is that in fulfillment and in servicing, there's an opportunity to provide better service, better fulfillment using digital tools, and it can be AI, data-based, it can be digital interaction, it can be chat boxes, etc. So it can be actually quite a range of areas that can augment that experience for clients. Maybe we go to the next slide, Halil. There is quite a few examples. Here is an AIA example. AIA has massively gotten into this to enhance sort of the tight agency networks that they have in Asia, and to drive this. Ping An in China with sort of even much bigger tight agency networks is another great example of where this completely put into play. Maybe we go to the next one, Halil. So that's on bionic distribution, and given sort of the agency networks that you have in Turkey, we think it's a big opportunity and it's something to really explore. Again, it drives productivity, lowers cost, and gets better information, and also for yourselves better controllable information in the client interaction at the sales and services moment. So we believe it's a very big unlock. Now, then the next one, thanks Halil for pushing me on. The next trend is around sort of growth. And what we observe, and this is also not new, but it's creating new inroads, is that there is an increased interest in health and well-being ecosystems. And in part, this has to do with sort of frictions that customers have. It also has to do obviously with aging population. And we'll come to that at the end. And actually, sort of, maybe I'll pull that a little bit forward, is what we observe in BCG, also in doing research, is that many aging customers, let's say 60 plus, will actually sort of, their spend levels are somewhat lower than between 50 and 60. So let's say between 70 and 80 spend levels are lower than between 50 and 60. What we see when we talk to customers, and we've done sort of a global piece of research on this, is that actually sort of it's not because people don't want to spend or don't have means to spend, but the propositions that are being developed are not anymore centered around their needs. And many consumer goods companies and retail-oriented companies, clothing companies, etc., are very focused on sort of let's say up to 60. Now, if we take the combination of that, there is a need around wellness, there's a need around sort of how do we call that, graceful aging, etc. There's a willingness to spend, but there are no clear propositions. And then combining that with the fact that life insurance and health insurance actually it is very difficult to have good client contact and frequent client contact in the build-up phase. When customers are 30 years old, they only look at their insurance once a year if we're lucky. But at the older ages, above 65, when retirement comes in, we actually become very relevant, and there is real engagement as life and health insurers with us. So there is sort of a logic for life and health insurers to play in this space. Now, here are a few sort of areas sort of that customers say, and this is America-based. What would they like to hear, and what are their needs? Obviously, longer life and healthier life. So this is both around sort of mortality and morbidity. How do we sort of make life longer? How can they steer that? But also higher quality. Obviously, there is sort of security questions, personal data around it. What is very interesting is if you ask retail customers, sort of who do you trust with your data, is they basically mistrust everybody, all companies, but the ones they mistrust least are banks and insurers. So they kind of assume, if you do interviews, that sort of the big tech will misuse their data. There's just, it's an assumption. So they're more upset when a bank or an insurer misuses the data than when a Google or an Apple misuses it, because they have higher trust in our industry. And I think that provides an opportunity also to play in this area. Okay, maybe we go to the next slide. There is quite a lot of innovations around this health and life ecosystem. We have sort of a nice vignette on the next slide around the Saga Lifeline Philips solution. Obviously, sort of, and as I soon said, I currently work in Johannesburg and spend a lot of time in Europe. But in South Africa, we have Discovery with Vitality, which is of course also a very clear example, very successful and rolled out globally around sort of a life and health proposition. But many things in play. We'll talk very briefly around Lifeline and Taikang Life. So in the Enjoy Retirement column around aging. Maybe we do the next slide. So this is just an example of how Saga in the UK sort of tries to serve customers over 50, basically in a holistic proposition for them around sort of travel, vacation, things around legal services, because it's a service, it's easy to bundle, healthcare, financial services, thinking through sort of how they get into retirement, etc. And then the pure insurance side. And so a very rich ecosystem, but really directed at 50 plus and thinking through sort of what are needs that they have, and then combine it with sort of the healthcare advice, and Philips obviously then provides also sort of self-testing capabilities that you can enhance the proposition with. So you can create data and measure, and you can post that and get advice on this. Maybe the next one. So Taikang is interesting because it's taken sort of the payout phase of life insurance, so the pension, into sort of how can we actually think about sort of in-kind repayment. And if you think about it, what they're actually doing is sort of you pay your premiums as a retail customer, they invest it, but then a part of their asset management actually goes into assets as retirement communities, and these customers then later move into that retirement community. And of course there is some synergy in that sort of you steer occupancy rate, so the asset yield is better and there's much more certainty about use, and so you kind of bring the whole value chain into the Taikang environment, right? And but basically think of this as sort of how can we create an in-kind proposition around this. Maybe we go to the next slide. I think the next two slides we can very briefly go to. This is around sort of the fact that that insurers are actually quite well positioned to talk to customers around sort of especially this sometimes called the silver or the emerald age, when other companies become less interested to think about sort of fully customer-centric solutions. And actually this is the age where insurance really comes in and customer interaction increases. Yeah, I realize I'm already spending quite some time. I think this is shareable. This also shows as the underserving of clients in that age, and there is quite some research on this as well. Maybe we go to the third trend. Yeah, I wanted to skip this one. Thank you. The third trend is around maximizing value from in-force books. So we've now spoken about how do we drive new sales and how do we increase sort of the inflow into our books. There's obviously also a question around sort of for a life insurer, especially sort of how do we optimize the value from the policies that we have in play. And maybe we go on to the next slide. So actually, if we're able to do this, then it obviously can drive very high TSR, because the multiplication effect in sort of solvency regulation is we basically, any cost saving or any higher yield we get from our assets will drive up sort of our profitability and our cash generation or our capital generation much quicker. Maybe we go to the next one. So when you think about in-force, there is sort of, we can think about it around four different sort of areas on the top, and then a set of levers for all of these. So a first set of levers is around financial effectiveness. And this is around thinking sort of how can we minimize risk, which is around reinsurance and financial hedging of the asset liability mix that we have. And then the second area is around sort of can we optimize sort of our modeling and our capital and balance sheet management to say sort of are we in the right sort of asset categories for the liabilities that we have. And what we've seen internationally, and I don't know how familiar this is, but I mean, at least for colleagues that have that are part of insurers with European or US exposure, you will have seen this, is in the last couple of years, private equity has bought out a number of books, most recently in the Japan market, a couple of years ago, quite a few transactions by, for instance, Apollo, Athena, Thora in Western Europe, and more historically also in the UK and the US. Why they do that is actually because sort of their play is around, can we create an end-to-end value chain from sort of the insurance policy into bringing more of their asset mix into investing in private equity, private credit, which they have direct distribution for. So they then own the full value chain. They up risk to do that. So they inject capital to bring the risk appetite to a higher level so that they can bring more of the assets into these more risky and illiquid asset classes. But they create a lot of return because they can disintermediate investment banks and third-party asset managers with private equity funds. So it's a very interesting play around sort of value chain disruption enabled by capital injection. Now, so I think that's, oh, no, I wanted to go to the right-hand side of it, of the previous slide. There is also, so this is financial and investment and ALM. Then sort of the other areas are around operations and cost management. How can you create simplification in processes, organization, IT? How can we think about service levels? Do sort of customers that are in a retirement phase need the same service levels as new customers that are on an engagement solution? And probably the answer is no, but what does that actually mean for how we manage that? And then the last part is around customer management. This is around thinking through things, how do we retain customers, how do we avoid lapsation, etc. But also sort of what parts of our book can we actually still upsell, cross-sell, and how do we work with that? So very rich set of things. But then if you look at the next slide, is insurers actually usually use a few sort of high impact levers for them, but then get very material impact from it. 2 percentage points higher retention, 2.5 percentage points ROE improvement, and if you look at the sort of the play from private equity, we see that they can outbid sort of existing insurers based on sort of this value chain disruption and higher capital investment and yield, sometimes by up to 10 to 20% on the bid price. So, Halil, can I hand over to you?
Teşekkürler Tacvet. Dördüncü trend olarak ESG olarak adlandırılan aslında çevresel, sosyal ve yönetişim olgusunun hayat ve sağlık sigortacılığına uygulanması olarak gözlemliyoruz. Bu konuda aslında sigorta alanında sıfır karbon geçişi için kayda değer ve en önemli 4 nokta bulunmakta. Bunlardan bir tanesi e, yatırım portföyü. Sigorta şirketinin ve yatırımcıların aslında sigortalıların yatırım portföyü. İkincisi sigortalama riski. Daha sonrasında hasar yönetiminin olduğunu ve en son olarak da operasyonların olduğunu gözlemliyoruz. Sigortacıların bu tarafa ilerlerken en temel olarak aldıkları ve bunların içerisinde kendilerini değiştirmek için, transformasyon yapmak için belirledikleri alanlar olarak. Bu alanlarda aslında hayat sigortası şirketleri için en önemlilerinden bir tanesi aslında yatırım portföyleri. Çünkü yatırımcıları dolayısıyla sigortalıları açısından karbon emisyonlarının sigorta riskini yüklenen e, ler tarafından tutulan teminat varlıklarının sahiplerinin amacı menkul kıymet ihraçlarının bir nevi enerji dönüşümünü hızlandırması ve uzun vadeli olarak daha iyi getiriler elde etmesi amacını gütmekte. Bu bakımdan aslında çeşitlendirilmiş bir portföyün piyasa dalgalanmalarına karşı direncinin daha çok artmış olması, uzun vadeli sürdürülebilir portföyün büyümeyi desteklediğini gözlemlenerek aslında sadece karlı değil ya da daha çok getiri sağlayan bir portföy değil, aynı zamanda risk dengesinin gözetilmiş bir yatırım stratejisi ve yatırımcının sigortalının finansal sağlığının düşünmesini güçlendirme amacını gütmekte ve bu düşünce ile özellikle yatırım portföylerinin dönüştürüldüğünü özellikle 2018'den beri gözlemliyoruz. 2018'den itibaren birçok Amerika'daki 401 olarak adlandırılan aslında emeklilik fonlarının bazı şirketlere yatırım yapmayı kestikleri, bazı şirketlerden yatırımlarını çektiklerini ama daha da önemlisi bazı şirketlerin yatırım yaptıkları şirketlerde yönetim kurulunu toplantıya çağırıp oylama yaparak iş modellerini değiştirme yönünde ittirdiklerini ya da biraz daha zorladıklarını gözlemliyoruz. Bu aslında çok önemli bir olgu. Çünkü e, emeklilik fonları ve hayat sigortası şirketleri bazı sektörlerin ileride aslında mahsur e, yatırım denilen aslında İngilizcesi stranded asset olarak söyleyebileceğimiz durum olarak görmekte ve bunun kendi yatırımcılarına yani dolayısıyla sigortalılar arasından büyük bir zarar getireceğini öngörmekte ve buna dair bugünden itibaren önlemler almak durumunda kendilerini görüyorlar ve bu şekilde bir transformasyon içerisindeler. ESG konusunda ya da işte çevresel, sosyal ve yönetişim konusundaki özellikle e, hayat sigortası şirketleri için en önemli noktalardan bir tanesi bu. E, bir sonraki trendimiz ise garantili ürünlerin tekrardan piyasaya tanıtılması, tekrardan piyasaya sürülmesi durumunu gözlemliyoruz. Aslına bakarsanız enflasyonist bir dalgalanmanın ortasından geçiyoruz global olarak ve bu aslında faiz oranlarını da global olarak istikrarlı bir yükseliş trendine sürükledi. Avrupa tarafına baktığımızda aslında dönemi üçe ayırıp e, Covid öncesi, Covid sonrası ve aslında 2022'nin başlarından itibaren de hızlı yükselen bir enflasyonist ortamından geçmekte bütün dünya olarak, özellikle de Avrupa bölgesi. Bu süreçte sigortacılar aslında sigortalıların daha iyi yatırım yapabilmesi için, daha uzun vadeli getiriler için yükselen aslında faiz oranlarının geri dönüş noktası olarak vurguluyorlar. Ama burada en temel soru, yükselen faiz ve yükselen enflasyon ne kadar sürecek ve bunun karşılığında tekrardan bir geri dönüşüm olursa, tekrardan eski makroekonomik durumlara dönerse global olarak ekonomi, sigortacılar ve dolayısıyla sigortalıları, bunları kendisini nasıl etkileyecek? Bu durumda baktığımızda aslında özellikle bazı major sigorta şirketlerinin çoktan belli adımlar attığını görüyoruz. Özellikle bunları örnek vermek gerekirse Allianz, Standard Life ve Zürich'i söyleyebiliriz. E, Özellikle bu major sigorta şirketleri e, makroekonomik bu dönüşümün aslında kendileri için ve sigortalıları için bir opportunity ya da bir güzel bir imkan sağladığını vurgulamakta ve dolayısıyla da bunu bir opportunity'ye dönüştürmek ya da bir şansa dönüştürmek için adımlar attıklarını görüyoruz. Bu kapsamda bazı İspanya, Fransa, Almanya ve İtalya'da özellikle gene bu major sigorta şirketlerinin tekrardan garantili ürünleri piyasaya tekrardan sürdüğünü, tüm hayatı kapsamayacak bir şekilde olsa dahi en azından kısıtlı bir süreyi garanti altına alacak 10 sene, 15 sene ve 20 senelik süreler bazında piyasa faizine ve enflasyonist durumun değişmesine göre net getiriler sağlayacak ürünler çıkarttıklarını görüyoruz. Bunlardan belki de en ortak özellik olarak söyleyebileceklerimiz işte garantili getiri ihtiyacına yanıt almak isteyen mevcut sigortalılarının piyasa koşullarına göre değişken fakat net getirili anüite oranları verdikleri veyahut mevcut duruma yanıt vermeyi amaçlamak ve finansal piyasalar bağlamında değişik volatiliteye uygun bir şekilde düşük faizli yıllardan geçiş sağlayıp yeni bir paradigma oluşturma olgusunun olduğu ve genel itibariyle bütün hayat dönemini kapsamadığı fakat kısa süreli de olsa belli bir süreyi kapsayarak enflasyonist ve enflasyonist ortama karşı sigortalarını koruyan ve net bir getiri sağlayan, aslına bakarsanız biraz daha kesinlik olgusunu sigortalıya veren ürünler olduklarını görüyoruz. Dediğim gibi bunlara örnek vermek gerekirse Allianz, Standard Life, Zürich, tekrardan Almanya'dan Allianz'ı örnek verebiliriz. Bu kapsamda Tajvet, would you like to take the imperatives as a last point?
Yes, sure. So what you see here is sort of again a summary of the 5 trends and basically what it could mean. So as we tried to say when we were discussing the trends, there is an opportunity, we believe, for Turkish life and health insurers to enhance effectiveness and productivity and actually break down those paradigms that we talked about through enhancing the bionic advisory proposition. And obviously you have to decide what for what client journey and what product category, but the opportunity to break down sort of distribution cost and yet at the same time enhance quality of advice and better control on information in for the insurer in the conversation with clients are real assets. On ecosystems that sort of the more holistic life and health solutions, there is a question of how to play and where are there opportunities, which is a bit of an innovation play. So there is a question around exploring attractiveness and financial viability. Can you make, is there a real need and can you make money? And then how do we compete, and how do you compete with sort of the colleagues on the line here, but also obviously in this space with parties outside insurance. On guarantees, as Halil says, sort of fundamentally, if you look at end customers, their needs for pension are to have guaranteed that they can continue life in the way they want to live it. So their fundamental need talks about some type of guarantee. They don't want sort of to, their fundamental need is to have a question on the yields on the stock market, whether they can sort of travel. They want the guarantee that they can travel when they want to. And so the question now with the changing sort of macroeconomic and interest climate is sort of, is there an opportunity for life insurers to bring back some components of it? And we don't believe that it will be a full back from DC to DB or from unit linked to savings thing, but what are the hybrid solutions that you can think about that would create more value for customers, and obviously also more value for the insurer, because you take a bigger role in the value creation. On in-force book, there is a question on sort of, are we really creating the best yield out of our back books? And are we very conscious about how we service clients with the right good enough service levels, with the right retention metrics, and the right cost levels from a complexity perspective, and are we creating return on our balance sheet? And then finally, as Halil said, sort of there is the question around the role of ESG. How do you win in sustainable investing, and how do you position yourself around it, and how do you also communicate to clients around that in terms of proposition, but also in communication? Okay. Stop here and hand back, I assume, to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for this comprehensive presentation. It's really enlightening, actually. Very pleased to hear you both. Now we will be moving with Eileen. Eileen is going to talk about the solutions, data analytics, the importance of data analytics, and I think it's very much supporting what you've been talking about, actually, especially this bionic advisory and that data analytics. I think is overlapping to a great extent, and it's very important. It's at the heart of the business to determine the customer needs, their fundamental needs, as you put it, Thijsberg, very rightly. And it's very natural that the customers are looking for guaranteed returns. That's so natural. But in Turkish market, we have this protection products and saving products very much separate from each other, because protection products are provided by life insurance branch, life insurance line, and we have this individual pension system on the other hand. We're just doing the savings bit on that part. So if I just proceed any longer on this topic, I would like to give the floor to Eileen to just tell us about more trends in innovative practices in life and health insurance in terms of data analytics. Over to you.
Thank you, Aysun. Thank you. I'm just confirming that you can see my screen and you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can see and hear you very well. Thank you.
Okay. I'm conscious that we have only 12 minutes left, so I need to be a bit quick in terms of moving forward. Some of the things that Thijsberg and Halil mentioned regarding digital and technology will be discussed here, but I'm focusing more on what insurance company can use these things in order to address some of the trends coming aboard. And from the trends perspective, the most important ones that I'd like to highlight is the first one regarding the social trends, which where the consumers are at the heart of it, actually. And the consumers are demanding at the moment much more simplicity. They want transparency and speed in their transactions with businesses. They are comparing dealing with insurance companies like the way they deal with Amazon, the way they deal with Google. So that requires us to also change our processes to address the changing environment. Thijsbert touched on this as well in terms of the data sharing. While customers are very open to share data with insurance companies, and actually 75% of customers have admitted that they want to share with insurance companies that recognize them by their name, they know their purchase history, their needs, etc. And when they are giving data, they want to know how it will be used and what's the value to them. Yeah. In addition, obviously, when our population is growing, 1 in 4 of people in Europe will be by 2050, they will be above the age of 65. This is putting much more pressure on healthcare system, on pension funds. And from the economic perspective, this in some ways, it's very positive for Turkey as well. There is much more emerging economies, 75% faster growth in emerging economies. And also the middle class, 80% of it is middle class, which means that there will be a lot of opportunities in this market. And also the regulatory changes happening in much more stricter outside in the developed markets is putting the focus much more on the emerging economies. And coming to the technology side, obviously digital and artificial intelligence already is very much in our everyday discussions. I don't know if you heard a few weeks back, the authors of Game of Thrones, the famous movies, they sued ChatGPT owner OpenAI because they were using the books to make ChatGPT smarter, sort of. But the concern was more that technology is replacing human beings. That's very similar to what we hear when we are discussing with organizations about changing underwriting processes, automating claims processes, where underwriters and claims assessors sometimes may feel that they are being replaced by technology. Thijsbert also mentioned Ping An. Actually, Ping An claims in their annual report that from the 20 million applications they have received for insurance, almost 96% of them were auto-underwritten by artificial intelligence. So data, technology are
I think we lost the connection with Aline. I thought it was me first. Aline, can you hear us? Problem with... Just a second. Yes. I'm just trying to reach... Aline'ye ben bir ulaşmaya çalışayım. Tekrar bağlanabilir belki. But in the meantime, if you happen to have any comments to make, please do. Thijsbert or Aline. Try to reach her. Okay, belki bu arada ben dinleyicilerimize dönebilirim. Tajsberg ve Halil'in bölümüne ilişkin sorularınız var mı acaba? Onlara ilişkin sorularınız varsa Tajsberg ve Halil'e yöneltebilirsiniz. Halil'le tekrar bağlantı kuruncaya kadar. Belki. Okay. Any questions from the audience? I just try to see my audience. Sorularınız varsa soruları da alabilirim dediğim gibi dinleyicilerimizden. Bu arada. Okay.
Hello, Aysun, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened. I suddenly lost you totally. I thought that the time is off.
No, don't worry. You don't need to hurry. We can just give you some more extra minutes. Don't worry. Don't just try to finish in a hurry. Okay.
Can you see my screen again?
We can see you, but we can't see the slides.
Now?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
them.
All right. So I was just telling you about how technology and data is impacting across the whole value chain, be that on product development, in marketing and distribution, pricing and underwriting. And if we want to actually put them in two groups, these are under growth opportunities. We can put them under growth opportunities and savings opportunities. From the savings opportunities, if I go slightly even further, that actually can be in technical profitability or operational efficiency. I will give a few examples about these things. On product development, as an example, with the use of advanced analytics, we are assessing business segments much more accurately. We are able to develop products faster and go to the market much faster. We are also using our data and analytics actually to do post-sales engagements with our consumers and use those to manage retention, to manage their loyalty to our brands, as an example. And touching on pricing and underwriting, there are many automated underwriting systems coming into the board, which I will talk about a bit later in the process. Now, coming to operational efficiency, the adoption of automation for standardized tasks, including data collection, underwriting analysis, processing of low severity, high frequency claims, has shown substantial improvements already in expense ratios. Now, if we look at the data, third-party research and analysis of real case studies, we expect about 20% savings from automation coming from claims handling digitalization. There are, if you also talk with C-suites, executive CEOs and CFOs in companies, they are actually targeting to improve their loss ratios using automation between 3 to 8%. These, at the moment, we already see some savings from this, but loss ratios are much harder to actually estimate whether the benefits are coming purely from technology. Whereas when we do automation per se, A/B testing, we can actually benchmark one saving towards the other. Now, if we talk about product development, already we talked a bit about how insurance companies are using data to access their consumers, to engage with consumers faster. But it's also helping them to know what they are searching for, when they are searching for, and how it is linked to the different stages of their life. We know that usually life and health insurance is, life insurance specifically, is bought whenever there is a major event in somebody's life. And now using data, social data, and as well as big data, we are able to actually assess when these are becoming relevant and target the right customer at the right time with the right product. So there's more emerging personalized products. And as these tools and data become more developed, we expect even the bundling of products to be in a different way, so that at different stages of an individual, you can buy the products by bundling different aspects of it. I'd like to touch on the distribution a bit, on marketing and distribution, and how behavioral economics, science that has been growing in insurance industry, is being used much more in recent years. This is much useful in how insurance companies are targeting, finding, and engaging with their consumers. In underwriting, behavioral economics is being used to help customers to actually be much more honest about their declaration of health. In sales process, it's helping boost quote generation and not losing them throughout the digital journey. I remember in one case, an insurance company was interested in reducing the number of dropouts throughout the digital journey. And they also wanted to increase the average premium of the policies that were being bought. By using behavioral economics, they uplifted by 10% both the sales that they were doing as well as the gross premium that they were selling at. Health and wellness, which Thijsbert touched on as well. Here, behavioral economics is being used quite significantly because just like probably many of you now are wearing Apple Watch or fitness app, and the data there is helping insurance companies identify whether you are tracked on your health. Do you need to move more? They are sort of triggering us in order to live healthier and to take actions that could improve our health. And on the claims and retention part, obviously, for disability claims, insurance companies are using behavioral economics to help insure the consumers who have disability claims to go back to work faster. And also in retention management, which is very important in life and health insurance. How to communicate with them. What is the renewal application wording that you need to send to a consumer so that they are more likely to remain with you? And we all know that new customers cost 7 times more than an existing customer. So there's much more effort being done to keep our customers with us, with insurance companies. And maybe to touch on underwriting, which is the automated underwriting per se, it's probably one of the most important aspects or the starting point for the insurance company's value chain. And here, both the data that we provide for insurance, life and health, the way we provide it and how it is being curated afterwards has changed over the years and continues changing. Previously, when I wanted to buy life insurance, I had to call an agent, and then he sent me an application which I had to fill in manually. And then it took like 4 to 5 weeks until I had my life insurance started. Nowadays, you can go on an online system, you can fill in your medical questionnaire, and then you get the decision of the insurance company on the spot, whether you have insurance or not. But it's not just the how, it's also the data that we're providing. Previously, insurance companies used only the consumer input to underwrite it. Nowadays, you can use proxy data, like banking transactions data are being used sometimes to identify whether it's a good risk or bad risk. health and wellness data is being used to say, okay, this person is a better risk than the other, or the underwriting journeys should be different than the other. And then once the data is inside, the decisions are being made by using artificial intelligence and machine learning, where previously there was only like data provided by the consumer. Now the machine is doing the decision taking on our behalf. And this is just the start of it, right? As more data becomes available, there will be much more sophistication in how this technology is being used. Obviously, how this is helping for the insurance companies, it's bringing both growth and customer satisfaction. Growth because there is much more a faster straight-through processing for insurance companies, and also it's you are targeting you are assessing the risks much better. And on the customer satisfaction part, the customer does not have to wait for the process, and they can on the spot know whether they have insurance or not. In many cases, the automated underwriting system is also allowing a streamlined process through the consumer journey. And because there are many of these are like software as a service solution, the insurance company can implement the solution on the spot in a matter of weeks rather than months. So even how we integrate the technology is changing. And then maybe on the last part that I want to mention is on the claims part. Claims have been, until now, because of financial interest as well as technological advancement, they haven't been automated or advanced as much as the underwriting. Underwriting, for example, in the Turkish market, we're seeing the underwriting transformation already starting. Claims is lagging behind in terms of the technology, but now it is being addressed in many ways in helping the consumers submit their claims faster. And then once it is submitted, how the insurance company can make the decision in one spot. Like the technology is allowing to already do the eligibility checks, to already show whether the person is entitled to a certain sum assured, what documents they need to submit, and accordingly the decision is being made faster. But most importantly, I guess, for insurance companies, what will be important and is getting more traction is the management of fraud and abuse cases, right? So there is billions and billions of dollars of waste within the insurance industry from fraud and abuse. And technology now, it's allowing companies to identify faster these anomalies and take action to mitigate the potential losses from it. In the past, we were doing these checks manually, but even if we use some sort of data analytics, it was based on one factor or two factor. Now, numerous variables can be used to identify the trends and the anomalies, and accordingly, the insurance companies are taking action. So it both is improving the customer submission, how quickly it submits, the turnaround time, and the profitability of the insurance company on the operational efficiency. So everything that we are doing within the data and technology, it helps either grow the business faster or become much more profitable in technical terms, or become much more operational efficiency. And these are just, we are at the sort of at the start of the technology advancement. And we are seeing in the 21st century, everything is happening much faster. And the technology advancement are becoming much more frequent. So what was happening, what was taking like 20, 30 years to happen, now it's a matter of a few years that we are seeing these emerging technologies and how it's being incorporated. Of course, at the moment, some of it is quite expensive and it requires a lot of resources. However, as they become more sophisticated, we expect also more efficiencies coming from that. I guess my last point that I want to highlight is that regardless of the data and technology, what becomes important is the trust that consumers are putting on our industry. They trust us to take care of them. They trust us we take care of their data, and whatever we do should be also aimed at making their digital journeys and data submissions a reliable experience for them, and then experience that they do not change the way they feel about our brands and our companies. Because I mean, especially in the life and health, this is a matter of everyday life, right? So anything that we do, it can impact the protection gap and how customers access and afford insurance. So maybe I'll stop there. I know I'm running late, but hopefully I skipped a couple of them, but I want just to make sure that everybody had at least some idea of what's happening. But I'm happy also to pick it up afterwards if some individuals want to go into much more detail. Every one of these topics obviously requires a deep dive, and I can talk hours about these things, but this is just a high-level overview of what's happening, yeah?
Thank you very much. I did a very comprehensive, very detailed presentation. And it's both exciting and a little bit frightening to hear about these technological developments. We can understand that we will be having more tailor-made, more special products, being developed according to the needs of the specific individuals. But at the same time, it may sound like it's going to put lots of underwriters, claims managers, and actuaries redundant. If I'm not wrong, I mean, if not all of them, just a few of them will be redundant in the near future. I think because this is developing so fast. The speed is important, but the accuracy is important as well. The other day I was reading a news in some factory, and the production line, one of the robots killed the factory worker by mistake, taking him as one of the packages, and it was trying to push him into the production line. So he was very badly injured. So I don't know, maybe this question would be coming from the audience, but I would like to ask you just right after your presentation, is there any remedies that you can think of to compensate in that kind of, not fatal, but some big, this kind of handicaps caused by technology and AI?
Yeah. So first, I want to highlight that the underwriters and claims jobs, I wouldn't say definitely redundant, but I would say that the job profile is changing, right? So where they need to focus and what do they need to do is changing from the years before. As for the dangers, everything, I mean, this has happened always in history. Every advancement comes with risks involved, and if we are not taking care of the risk, it can have quite fatal, as you said, fatal consequences. To that effect, regulation obviously is taking a big role now to make sure that like the ChatGPT and how our data is being used and these technologies are being used are actually adding benefits rather than risking our life. Mitigating it will be possible. Removing it totally, I don't think so, right? So it's our also as industry, it's our job as well, or our mandate to make sure that the way we're using technology is taking care of them. That's why everything, I mean, insurance industry is a very much regulated industry, but also we rely that us as employers, we need to take care of what's trusted in us. So I suspect soon it will be a combination of the regulation, but also the insurance associations like yourself, as well as us as companies will be making sure that these do not happen. Yeah.
Thank you. Hopefully. So I would like to turn to audience. Peki ben şimdi dinleyicilere dönmek isterim. Katılımcılardan söz almak isteyen, katkıda bulunmak isteyen ya da soru sormak isteyenler var mıdır acaba? Elde kaldırabilirsiniz. Teknik ekipten size hemen izin vereceklerdir. Ben bakıyorum. Benim kaçırdığım var mı arkadaşlar? Şöyle çete yazan var mı diye bakıyorum. Em, Halil Bey'e bir soru, sanırım siz bahsettiniz. Sıfır karbon geçişi sırasında müşterilerimizi de eğitmek ve bu ürünlere, yatırımlara yönlendirmek adına nasıl bir yöntem izleyebiliriz?
Tabii ki. Genel itibariyle pazarlama materyallerine net bilgiler ekleyerek, küçük boyutlu sosyal medyayı kullanarak, ESG ya da ÇYS diyebileceğimiz etkisi hakkında web seminerleri düzenleyerek ya da sürdürülebilirliğe odaklanan şeffaf politika ayrıntılarını sunmak vasıtasıyla ve tüm bunları yaparken aktif olarak müşteri geri bildirimlerini toplayarak sigorta müşterilerini aslında ÇYS konusunda eğitmek mümkün olabilir. Ama tabii burada hayat sigortaları konusunda konuştuğumuz zaman aslında biraz daha sürdürülebilir yatırımın da aslında önemli olduğunu biliyoruz ve hani biraz daha müşterilerin aslında o tarafta e, bilinçlendirilmesi gerektiğine inanıyoruz. Çünkü sigorta müşterileri ÇSY kapsamında yatırımları konusunda eğitmek onların yatırım portföylerinin daha sürdürülebilir emeklilik yaşlarının geldiklerinde bunun 65 olduğunu düşünürsek daha makul ve o dönemin makroekonomik koşullarında daha yaşanılabilir ve daha sürdürülebilir bir getirilerinin olacağını düşünebiliriz. Çünkü bazı sektörlerin bir 10 sene, 15 sene sonrasında çok büyük değişimler geçireceğini düşünürsek ve o şirketlerin ya da o sektörlerin en basit örneği vermek gerekirse hisse senetlerinin getirilerinin aslında bugünkü düşünüldüğü kadar iyi olmayacağını ve bunun yatırımcıların aslında sigortalıların portföylerine çok büyük zarar vereceğini göstermek ve bunu aslında bir şekilde benchmarkla sürdürülebilir yatırım ve diğer konvansiyonel yatırımlar arasındaki karşılaştırmaları devamlı yaparak aslında bunun makul seviyede getirilsin ve hatta uzun vadede daha iyi olduğunu göstermek vasıtasıyla sigorta müşterilerini bilinçlendirmek mümkün olacaktır ve en etkili yollardan bir tanesi olacaktır.
Korkunç burada sosyal sorumluluk görevlerinden bir tanesidir diye düşünüyorum ben de. Teşekkür ederiz Halil. Zeynep söz istiyor. Zeynep. Açabilir miyiz Ferhat Bey, Zeynep Hanım'ın mikrofonunu?
Merhabalar, ben Zeynep Stefan. Öncelikle çok teşekkür ederim. Yine harika bir webinar oldu, çok bilgilendirici. Ben Halil Bey'e bir soru sormak istiyorum. Halil Bey'i mini piyasasından da yakından takip ediyorum. Özellikle hayat sigortalarındaki yazıları, faaliyetlerini. Ben son dönemde özellikle Avrupa piyasasında hayat sigortalarıyla alakalı bu yenilikçi yatırım ürünleriyle alakalı hani bir hareketlenme olduğunu görüyorum. Halil Bey'in perspektifini merak ederim. Nasıl buluyor bu yenilikçi yatırım ürünlerini? Tıpkı insurance linked securities gibi yatırım hayat ürünlerinin de bir portföy haline getirilmesi, bunu farklı sektörlerde değerlendirilmesi, bundle yapılması bazı portföy türlerinin ve farklı yatırım alternatiflerine çevrilmesi gibi durumlar söz konusu. Ben buradaki öngörüsünü merak ediyorum. Geleceği öngörüyor mu? Bir de bu özellikle bu yatırım ürünlerini şimdi Avrupa'da yükselen bir de sustainability trendi var. Onunla ne şekilde bağdaştırabilir? Yani bu ürünler aynı zamanda sustainable olabilir mi? Bunu merak ediyorum. Hayat sigortasındaki ürünlerde böyle çok ciddi bir e, linkleme söz konusu sektörler arası. Farklı sektörlerde değerlendirme, teminat kabul etme ya da farklı yatırım alternatiflerine çevirme söz konusu. Ben bu konudaki görüşlerini merak ediyorum açıkçası. Çok teşekkürler bugün vakit ayırdıkları için ayrı zamanda.
Çok teşekkürler sorunuz için Zeynep Hanım. Gerçekten de güzel bir soru. Aslına bakarsanız Avrupa piyasasında bu rekabet biraz daha hararetli durumda. Çünkü yükselen gene söylediğimiz bir trend olarak yükselen enflasyon ve merkez bankalarının buna karşı olarak vermiş olduğu tepki, risksiz faiz oranlarının yükseltilmesi, baz faiz oranlarının yükseltilmesi aslında hayat sigortası şirketlerini biraz daha yarışı farklı bir noktaya getirdi. Çünkü artık sadece kendi içlerinde bir yarış içerisinde değiller. Bunun içerisinde diğer portföy şirketleri veya bankaların sunmuş oldukları ürünler veya asset manager'ların sunmuş oldukları ürünler de artık bir yarışın içerisinde. Dolayısıyla hayat sigortası şirketleri kendi pastalarından pay kaybetmemek için daha rekabetçi olmak durumunda ve daha inovatif ürünler çıkartmak durumunda kaldılar. Bunlardan mesela örnek olarak vermek gerekirse Almanya'daki e, depot products olarak geçen Allianz ya da başka hayat sigortası şirketlerinin aslında bir nevi bankacılık faaliyetine de girdikleri ürünler var. Mesela bir portföyünüzü kısa süreliğine 6 aylık ya da 8 aylık daha nereye yatırım yapacağınızı bilmiyorsunuz fakat değer kaybetmesini istemiyorsunuz ve en azından piyasa koşullarında bir faiz getirmesini istediğiniz için hayat sigortası şirketine o parayı tabiri caizse park ediyorsunuz. Bu aslında bir bankacılık faaliyetidir ama Avrupa'da özellikle Almanya'da baktığınızda bu regülasyonla olanak sağlanmış bir durumda. Böyle bir piyasanın içerisinde hayat sigortası şirketleri zaten senelerden beri gayri safi milli hasılaların altında bir büyüme gerçekleştiren bir e, satış figürleri var, satış sayıları var. Sene sonlarına baktığımızda 2012'den beri. Dolayısıyla mevcut pastadan zaten kaybetmiş durumda ve bunu daha da kaybetmemek için aşırı derecede rekabetçi olmak durumuna getirdi. Diğer konuda da sürdürülebilir yatırım ve sürdürülebilir sigortacılık ve sürdürülebilir finansın da gelmesiyle beraber özellikle tekrardan asset manager'lar bu konuda çok aktif bir şekilde piyasanın içerisinde. Dolayısıyla hayat sigortası bu tarafa doğru ittirmekte. Özellikle Avrupa piyasasında ÇSY ya da ESG olarak adlandıracağımız konunun regülasyonunun daha aktif olarak yapıldığını görüyoruz. SFDR regülasyonları var ve bununla beraber gelen Article 8, Article 9 durumları var. Mevcut fonların hangi yatırımlara hangi koşullarda yatırım yapabileceğini çizgisini çizen ve bunu bir tabiri caizse sertifikasyonu yapan. Tabii ki müşterilerin de bu yönündeki bilincinin artmasıyla beraber e, hayat sigortası şirketleri mecburi bir şekilde inovatif ve biraz daha normal konvansiyonel iş modelinin dışına çıkarak yeni yollar, yeni inovatif productlar ve yeni inovatif yatırımlar bulmak zorunda kaldı. Ve muhtemelen bu daha da hızlanarak devam edecek Avrupa piyasasında.
Çok teşekkür ederiz Halil Bey. Ben Tijsberg'e son olarak very quick question, Tijsberg, towards you. What do you think are the main trends the Turkish insurance market, life insurers, should be focusing on? And what do we need to take into consideration while making this decision, which trends to focus on? What do you think?
Sanırım Tajbert
Düştüm.
ayrılmak durumunda kaldı.
Okay.
Farklı bir toplantısı
Okay.
var şu anda.
Tamam.
Onun yerine ben alayım.
Tamam.
Türkiye hayat sigortacılığına baktığımızda aslında özellikle satış kanalından banka finansının daha güçlü olduğunu görüyoruz ve hani bunu Tajbert'in belirtmiş olduğu trendlerle bağdaştırırsak aslında Bionic Distribution'ın daha önemli olacağını ve aslında Ali'nin de belirttiği trendle birleştirirsek teknolojinin ve insan gücünün birleştiği daha aktif satış ağının yeni bir trend oluşacağını ve yeni bir değer katacağını, değer getireceğini ve buradan hayat sigortası şirketlerinin daha fazla bir değer elde edebileceğini düşünüyoruz. Tabii ki bunun dışında diğer bir nokta büyüme için ve yeni değerler bulabilmek için Avrupa piyasasından konuştuğumuz şekilde aslında bu Türkiye için de geçerli olacak. Mevcuttaki sigortalılar ya da mevcuttaki katılımcı insanlar 65 yaşına geldiğinde ya da emekliliğine geldiğinde belli bir birikime sahip olabilecek. Belki de çok daha beklentilerinden çok daha iyi getiriler elde edecek. Fakat yaşı artık 65 olduktan sonra özellikle mesela Avrupa'da konuşulan tekrardan bir regülasyon değişikliği olması muhtemel bir durumlardan bir tanesi. Geç bir vakitte gelmiş olan bir iyi bir getirinin aslında çok da makul olmadığı söyleniyor. Çünkü o yaşa geldikten sonra artık e, belli bir yaşın üzerindesiniz ve o parayı şu şekilde söyleyebilirsiniz. Yani artık o paranın benim için bir değeri geçti. Dolayısıyla Amerika'daki düşünülen durum, regülasyonun konuşulduğu ve hükümetle konuşulan durum, Fransa'daki benzer bir durumun Almanya'ya implemente edilmesi. Fransa'da eğer bir yatırım ürününüz varsa özellikle hayat sigortasında ya da bir emeklilik sigortasında, emeklilik fonunda bunu başka bir emtiaya, başka bir değere yatırım yapmak için herhangi bir vergi kesintisi ya da herhangi bir cezaya uğramadan o fonunuzdan alıp diğer tarafa yönlendirebiliyorsunuz. Mesela yeni bir ev almak istiyorsunuz veyahut çocuğunuzun eğitimi için harcamak istiyorsunuz. Bunun hiçbir şekilde önünde engel olmadan aslında likit olmayan bir yatırımı likit hale getiren bir regülasyon var. Ve majör ülkelerde de bunun konuşulduğunu görüyoruz. Bu aslında Türkiye piyasası içinde mevcut bir trend olabilecek bir gelişim olduğunu düşünüyoruz. Tabii ki onun dışında tekrardan ÇSY trendini söyleyebiliriz. Çünkü baktığınız zaman regülasyonların en hızlı ilerlediği yerlerden bir tanesi Avrupa bölgesi ve Amerika kısmına ve Asya kısmına baktığımızda da Avrupa'yı takip ettiklerini görüyoruz. Dolayısıyla Avrupa bu konuda biraz daha lider ve öncü durumda ve trendin o tarafa sürükleyen konumunda. Dolayısıyla bu trendin de yakın bir zamanda Türkiye hayat sigortası piyasasını etkileyebileceğini, en azından yatırımlar yönünden, hangi araçlara yatırım yapılacağı yönünden ve biraz daha müşterilerin, sigortalıların daha bilinçlenmesiyle o tarafa yöneleceğini düşünüyorum açıkçası.
Tabii öncelikle bir regülasyonun bu şekilde
Tabii ki.
bir yönlendirmesinin önemli olduğu
Kesinlikle.
aşikar.
Maybe one thing, if I can
Sure,
add to
of
what Halil mentioned, so definitely the risk environment is changing. And for me, there are two challenges that insurance companies, just as a sort of a flagging for all of us here, is that we can't afford to change in the pace that we were changing in the past, because the risk environment, like Halil said, the pension environment is changing, our aging is changing, then accordingly our healthcare systems will need to change. But how we respond to these changes will need to be fast. Otherwise, the economies and the societies will suffer from this. And from the data and technology perspective, one of the key challenges that insurance companies are facing is how to invest in the right technology and how to use the data in the right way. Because otherwise, you can, I mean, we have seen cases when there have been a lot of money investments done in technology with almost zero value adding to it. So it can be quite overwhelming with everything around us changing, that insurance companies, in order to transform themselves, they want to invest in new things, but that it's not the right thing. So making decision which will be the the thing that makes a difference for the consumer and for the insurance company. For the long-term sustainability, it will be a very important step.
Thank you, Annie. So it's a very nice conversation with you all. I wish it would last a little bit longer, but we are up our time. So teşekkür ederek ben kapatmak istiyorum. Gördüğümüz üzere bence 4 temel trend var diye toparlayabiliriz. Bu özellikle teknolojinin getirdiği değişiklikler, demografik değişiklik, özellikle yaşlanan nüfusların toplumlar üzerinde yaptığı baskı, hayat sigortalarına ve emeklilik ürünlerine olan talebi arttırıyor. Makroekonomik çerçevede oluşan değişiklikler, işte bölgesel olarak, politik olarak şekillenen yeni durumlar ve iklim değişikliği tabii ki hem sigortacıları hem de toplumları çok etkiliyor ve bizim hayat sigortacıları olarak üzerimize düşen görevleri artırıyor diyebiliriz. Çünkü yapılan raporlarda, araştırmalarda da görüldüğü üzere bu protection gap, koruma açığının giderek açıldığını görüyoruz. Daha fazla ürüne, daha çok kişinin hayat sigortalarına ilgi göstermesi gerekir diyoruz. Çok teşekkür ediyorum. Başka bir katkı ve soru yoksa kapatmak istiyorum. Var mı ekleyeceğiniz bir şey Halil Bey? Aylin, you want to add something? So thank you to BCG team. BCG ekibine de çok teşekkür ederim. Halil Bey, Tesport, yine yanlış pronans ettim herhalde ismini. Elif Hanım, Lale Hanım, hepinize çok teşekkür ediyorum. Bir sonraki seminerde, webinerde görüşmek üzere. Hoşçakalın.
Çok teşekkürler. Görüşmek üzere.
Görüşmek
Thank
üzere.
you.
See you, Aylin. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.